Ancient temple prostitutes. The ancient world was replete with diverse and often enigmatic practices, and among the most intriguing were the roles played by temple prostitutes. These figures, often associated with religious rites and rituals, existed in various cultures across different epochs. Historical context. The concept of temple prostitution is deeply embedded in the historical and cultural context of societies like Mesopotamia, Greece, Rome, India, and the Near East. These sacred sex workers held a unique place within religious institutions, serving deities and participating in ceremonies that were believed to ensure fertility, prosperity, and divine favor. Ancient Mesopotamia. In Mesopotamia, particularly in Sumer and Babylon, temple prostitution was an established practice. Dedicated to the goddess Iana or Ishtar, these priestesses engaged in ritualistic sexual acts as an offering to ensure bountiful harvests and the general well-being of the community. The Epic of Gilgamesh, one of the earliest known literary works, alludes to the sacred rites performed by temple prostitutes. Greco-Roman world. In ancient Greece and Rome, the concept took a different form. Temples dedicated to Aphrodite or Corinth and Eryx in Sicily were associated with sacred prostitution. The Greek term hierodule referred to these women who served the temples and engaged in sexual acts as part of religious ceremonies. While this practice might have been more symbolic than explicit, it nonetheless played a role in the cultural and religious fabric of the time. India. In the Indian subcontinent, the Devadasis were women dedicated to serving deities in Hindu temples. While their roles were not solely centered on sex acts, they were an integral part of religious ceremonies. Over time, societal changes led to the decline of the Devadasi tradition, and in the modern era, efforts have been made to preserve their cultural heritage. Symbolic versus explicit acts. The nature of the activities associated with temple prostitution varied widely. In some cases, the sexual acts were symbolic, representing the union of deities and cosmic forces. In others, the acts were more explicit, serving as a form of worship believed to ensure fertility, both agriculturally and personally, for those participating. Controversies and debates. The role of temple prostitutes has been the subject of considerable debate among historians and scholars. Interpretations range from seeing them as powerful symbols of feminine divine energy to perceiving them as victims of patriarchal exploitation. Unraveling the complexities of these ancient practices requires a nuanced understanding of the cultural and religious contexts in which they thrived. And so here are the serpent bloodline revelations. Since ancient times, the serpent bloodline has carried out the great rite symbolically in ceremonies using the chalice and the athame. However, priestesses and priests did also perform the great rite together for the priests to gain illumination. This sacred rite requires a fully trained priestess and priest who have practiced Tantra and know how to trigger the Kundalini energy. The priestesses who worked in the temple were not illuminating every man or woman who visited the temple. They were producing a special elixir for them, so that they could experience a few hours of the ecstasy it brings, and the health benefits. The Great Rite proper can only work fully when both male and female performing it are fully trained in the tantric arts. Therefore, the normal people could only get a short glimpse of this by taking the elixir. The elixir could only be made in the dark moon, and these priestesses were always of pure bloodline, having O-negative blood and serpent genetics. This special elixir, the waters of the goddess, that contains both the water and the wine, which are the ejaculatory fluid from the priestess mixed with her menstrual blood, was not only used for giving spiritual experiences to the community, it was also used on the land to make crops grow big and strong, and women who wanted to become pregnant used it for fertility. This magic manna was soon lost to history until I released my Secrets of the Serpent Bloodline book to the world, and I also talked about it here on YouTube. The Serpent Bloodline kept these secrets hidden in the underground stream so that they would survive until the time that people were beginning to seek gnosis and were ready to hear it. It was replaced in many religions by actual wine and water, which is why in Christian ceremonies they have a chalice and they mix the water and the wine in it. They say it is the blood of Jesus. Well, that wine isn't, but he was pure serpent bloodline, but could not produce this elixir. Mary Magdalene did that for him and the others in the order. Today in our order, unless someone is a couple, they don't perform the Great Rite or produce the elixir for anyone, but a rare few within the order who are training themselves. But some might be disgusted by this, and that's okay. No one is ever forced to do anything they don't want to do. So next time you hear about ancient temple prostitutes, just know this: they might have all started out as doing what they were supposed to, but in time the practice became corrupted and the truth was lost to the general public. So that's all for now. Until next time, bye.